there. That's right. We are back. I am your host, Jessica Koch, and this is Profound Professionals. It is the interview series that has been coming to you for 9 years. We're approaching our 10-year birthday. Hey, 10, that's a big, big birthday. And we have been giving you amazing guests from across the globe. So, Profound Professionals is industry experts that help you live the best version of your life, be the best version of you can be, and also grow your business and grow your legacy. And there is no better guest than Orly for legacy today because she really inspires speakers and helps them from all over the world to get their message and the transition that they help with people out there. Orly is the real deal. She guarantees that speakers will make $150,000 a year with her. And it's not hype, it's heart, it's strategy, and it's simple. She really gives you that step by step. So she's accessible and generous, and she gives and goes above and beyond. So once you meet her, you'll understand why people say you don't just get coached, you gain a life, you really gain a lifelong friend, cheerleader, champion, someone who is supporting you and encouraging you along your journey of success. So welcome, Orly.
Thank you for having me. This is fun.
Yay! I'm so glad you're here.
Me
Okay, tell
too.
us your journey and story. How did you step onto the path of helping other speakers really thrive in their speaking, in their joy and excitement to speak and teach and share their passion and their inspiration? So many people were trying to be speakers and they just weren't making the revenue to justify it. And they started to have all these horrible self-doubts, like only really famous people can do it, and only this can happen for someone else. It can't happen for me. And that isn't true. And
Yeah.
and you really helped show people that. But how did that come to be?
Well, actually, it's a very funny story. I was in property management for 25 years and I was speaking in property management. So I did not think about the world of public speaking. I just was speaking. It was something that I was called to do. People would call and say, "Hey, can you come and speak?" And after a while, I didn't know people got paid for this. So I was like, "Oh, wait a second. I can charge, you know." And then I started charging. And I'm like, "Oh, this is good. I'm getting paid." Interesting. But it took forever. It took 6 months of really grinding to be
Mhm.
able to get there. But at the same time, I was also in property management. So one of my girlfriends said, "Why don't you come and speak at my women's shelter?" And I'm like, "What do you want me to speak about? Property management?" She's like, "No, silly. I want you to come and tell your story." And
Mhm.
at that time, Jessica, I didn't even want to speak about my story. That's not something I wanted to do. I mean, I was going through my own journey of following Tony Robbins and other big ones out there. And I was paying the money to learn and go through my journey and healing. But
Mhm.
I never thought about speaking about it, right?
Mhm.
So one day, one of my girlfriends said, "Can you come and speak at this women's shelter?" And that I volunteer at. And I said, "What do you want me to speak about? Property management?" She's like, "No, come on, right?" So finally, I relented. She was an annoying friend. I'm sure some of your viewers have annoying friends, and she was really annoying. And I finally, after 3 weeks, I said, "Why do you want me? Because there's other people that speak on this topic. Why me?" She said, "Well, you have this bubbly personality. Yeah, you're like a social butterfly. Everywhere we go, people hug you. People who don't even know you hug you." But you're living a lifestyle that most people dream about. Come and give these women hope. Well, she was really, really persistent. So I finally relented and I spoke at this women's shelter. And here's the pivotal moment for that. When I was at this women's shelter, when I got off the stage, which never happened to me before in property management, people were crying. People came to me afterwards and hugged me. "Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for giving me hope." And I never had that happen before, so it was really weird. To
Mhm.
keep it in context, my story is like 13 seconds. I was a beaten up child. I was molested 4 times before the age of 14. I was raped 3 times before the age of 22, twice gang raped, 9 months apart, left for dead. I was married to a very abusive husband, both mentally and physically. And as a result of that, I had 4 abortions and I gained a morbid amount of weight. I was 428 pounds at my heaviest. So that's the story I kind of sort of shared. And then after I got off the stage, like I said, people came and thanked me, but there was one woman that changed the whole course of my career. And she came up to me and she was crying. We tried to calm her down. She took out a piece of paper and she showed it to me and she said, um, I was going to kill myself this morning.
Mm,
And I don't remember driving from my house to the shelter because you see here, this is not where I was going. But I heard you speak and I want to live. I just need you to show me how. I
mm,
lost it. And then I realized that this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life.
mm,
So that's one story towards helping speakers.
mhm. So, what do you find is most common when people come to you and go, okay, Orly, I'm a speaker, I have this passion, I have this inspiring story, but I don't really know what to do next because everything I tried isn't working. And I'm not getting paid to speak, and I'm speaking for free, but that doesn't pay the bills. And, what else can I do? I don't know where to turn. What, where do you help them from there?
So I don't help them to how to speak because I believe that if you're passionate about anything, you're a good speaker.
Mm,
Let's face it. When we're telling a friend about a good restaurant, what do we do? Oh my God, you got to see this restaurant. It's amazing. Try this, try that, right? Like we talk with this kind of passion. When we're passionate about something, we don't need to think about it. We just speak
mhm,
about it.
mhm,
And so I don't mind if people are bad or a bad speaker, whatever, the worst speaker in the world, it doesn't matter. Here's what I say. First of all, get paid to speak because I don't care how old you are, where you've been, what you've done. You have paid for it. You've paid for it with time, education, money, blood, sweat, tears, aggravations, ups and downs, experiences. And that's your intellectual property. No one can take it away from you. So all you got to do is ask for the money because money is energy and it needs to be exchanged. And at the same time, you need to understand that if you're not good, they're not going to call you back. But here are some statistics. There are 64,000 events a day in America alone, Canada and the United States that pay speakers. So
mm.
we're not in shortage of any measure, right? Like if we
Mhm,
took you and all our friends around the world with 300 of their friends, we're not going to be able to call 64,000 people in one day.
mhm.
So people need to know these things and stop not asking. Ask. When you talk to people, stop saying, I'm a coach. Start saying, I'm a public speaker.
Mhm.
Own that. On
Mm.
your LinkedIn, put public speaker first. There are 300 million declared, personally declared speakers on LinkedIn alone, but they don't do that for a living. So don't worry about it. Just
Mhm.
talk to people. Go to when people go to networking event, they don't even say that they're public speakers. They say they're a coach. How many of you really need to be coached? You don't, but you do. And at the same time, you don't need to say it.
Yeah, I think it's definitely true. If you put in your LinkedIn headline that you're a speaker, people will actually come and reach out to you. A true story is, I have that in my headline, and that is how someone found me and hired me and paid me to teach at their annual conference. Um, and it was because they did a search in LinkedIn and they found that I had speaker in the headline and speaker throughout my profile in different spots. So the SEO for speaker was high when he was searching because, I had to win out against however many you just said is on LinkedIn, right? So yeah, incorporating that is really important. But there are a lot of speakers out there who are trying to be paid professional speakers and actually truly earn a valuable living at it, a viable living at it. And so when they feel stuck and they need that next step of success, what's the first step for them to reach out to you so they can get and grow to that 150,000 a year or more as a speaker with consistency, right? Because people need a revenue.
Yes. So you said something very, very important, Jessica. It's consistency. And not only that, is that when I guarantee that 150K in 1 year, all I ask people to do is 1 hour a day, 5 days a week. Okay. And I still get resistance. I still get people saying, "Well, I can't do that." And I'm thinking, okay. And I was just sitting with a friend of mine who's actually a client as well, who's doing really, really well. She's done the 150 plus. But here's the cool part. We're sitting down and we're talking. And at one point, I said to her the same thing I just said to you, that people are resisting that 1 hour a day, 5 days a week. And so we started doing math. We just pulled out our calculator and we were like 150,000 divided by 5 hours. Let's just say that 2 months out of the year we're not going to work. So about 50 weeks or 2 weeks out of the year. So 50 weeks at 5 hours, that's 250 hours. Let's divide $150,000 by 250, right? That gave us $675 or $650. And I'm thinking, they won't even do that for $650. And I was freaking out because I was like, okay, wait a minute. Lawyers make less than I. It's like, we were we were just kidding around. But the first step is to decide that they want to do this.
Well,
The
people
first step is to be serious.
people get a salary position for 150,000 plus, they're going to end up doing 40 to 50 hours a week of work for that organization or company or whatever. So, yeah, I think definitely worth the time investment.
Mm.
So, what's their next step to reach out to you though? How do they find you and what,
Oh,
and how do they decide, okay, I may want to enter into this program so I can achieve this amazing thing and have some revenue in my life with this passion that I have?
so the first thing is you can look me up. Meetorlyamor.com is my website, and you can get on my calendar. It's open to everyone. You can all get on my calendar for 30 minutes, find a spot, and just get in.
Hmm.
Um, let's have a conversation because I say this with love. If you do go into my program or you decide to work with me, my condolences in advance. You do have me for life. And so you got to be serious about it. You got to want it. You got to be hungry for it, like Les Brown says. You got to be hungry. You got to be hungry for it. And many people want the million, like Tony Robbins says, many people want to be a millionaire, but they want to wake up at noon. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. And, but you can have a good, steady income. You can have a pleasant life. I got into public speaking so I can travel,
Hmm.
which I did a lot of, which I love. So just reach out to me. Let's have a conversation. It's the easiest way to do that.
All right. Well, in the description and the article and all the places that you're viewing this, you'll be able to find her calendar link. But she also has another an amazing gift and resource is you have a workshop that runs regularly. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about that?
Sure. So my workshop is called Paid Gig Accelerator Masterclass.
Hmm.
And every week, every Wednesday, depending on the time and time zone, you can check it out. I'm sure Jessica will put the link in there as well. And the cool part about it is that it's every week. So if you missed it one, you'll have it another. You can come back. You can invite your friends. You can have a great time with us. And always use Jessica's link to give to your friends as well to make sure that they register. But it's very, what's cool about it is not only do I give you a lot of information, but I also have some really cool gifts if you
Mm.
stay till the end. So you get to spend time with me. Yes, I know, horrible, right? But then you get to have fun with us, and it's always beautiful, and I love it. I love doing it. I've been doing it every week since 2018. So you can tell I have passion for that.
Yes, that's some serious consistency and dedication right there. And what a great service to the community. So people can come in and learn some things and work with you and learn more about you and your energy and feel that compatibility, that's a great way to experience that as well, in addition to the one-on-one. So I love that opportunity. Now we're going to get a wonderful tip from Orly, maybe something she'd teach or share in that workshop, but you're going to get it right now live in our show. So share with us a tip or tips that you feel like people can use and apply today that will make a difference in their speaking life.
Well, don't judge yourself. That's number one. Do not judge yourself of being good speaker, bad speaker. It doesn't matter. Get out there. Somebody needs to hear your story. In the act of sharing, there's contribution. You just never know whose life you're going to change. So don't think about it as for yourself. Think about the bigger picture. And that's what I had to say to myself also. It's not about me. It's about the people I want to impact. So if you're going to have impact, get over yourself.
That's right. That's a really good one. And one of the things that is also impactful, and I'm very proud of that we've had since the beginning of our show, is some cause awareness. We always get our guests to share a cause they care about. We're hoping to inspire time, treasure, or talent, and awareness about all the amazing causes that are out there, because you listening might benefit from the cause, might know someone who could benefit from the cause, or just might get inspired to remember a cause that it's close to your heart, and give them a call and do something with them sometime soon. So, because sometimes we just get busy, we
Mhm.
all have something that sings to our heart, and we often get busy on our way. And so we try to make sure in Profound Professionals we're not too busy to stop for a moment and share that. So, Orly, a cause you care about?
Yes, so it's called youaremylight.org. And basically, we are getting donors to donate. And then what we do, and it's for any cause that has to do with children, saving children
Mhm.
and women. And so when we do give to those causes, it's probably something that they need, like they need a bed, or they need a clothing, or they need other things.
Mhm.
And we also donate to different organizations that also help, but they have a thrift store, or they have other modalities to help every one of these. It's like a collective of churches and others that we help to. We gotta share the wealth. That's
That's
really what
right.
it is. It's sharing the wealth.
I
Yeah,
love that. And I love that it's so many different ways that they could have support from, from a bed to sleep in, to a safe place to be. Supporting children is just always top of the list, because we have to be the heroes to help those who can't help themselves, right?
that's right.
And one of my other friends, this reminds me of their cause, is they're out of Las Vegas, and they have a cause that gives scholarships to children who are in foster care,
Oh,
so
that's
that
good.
they have college funding. If they've spent most of their childhood, bouncing around families in foster care, often there isn't a college fund set up for them. And so this program provides that higher education for kids that do that. So I just love all these different causes that help out, all of the lights of our future, right?
Mm-hmm.
So something else that leaves legacy is books, and we're so inspired by books. And I always love for our guests to share a book that inspired their personal life or helped them grow their business. So do you have an author and a book that you might share with us?
So two of them, if it's okay. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. I'm sure people have heard this 100 times, but
Hmm.
I read that book over 100 times. So I absolutely know it by heart. I can argue every point in there. And it helped me personally. So I want to say that it was very personal. It came at a right time.
Hmm.
And in my business, I would say Who Not How by
Hmm.
Dan Sullivan. It's really good.
Hmm.
It helps you have perspective on what you're doing, what you're working on, and who else can do that job instead of you, which was amazing.
So you'll find this possibly fascinating. Books do come to you at the right moment, and I am currently listening to a book called Tapping the Source.
Mm,
And Tapping the Source is three authors that have come together to compile the Master Key Systems, written by Charles Hanel. And he wrote that 100 years ago and
Wow.
actually received a letter they documented, written from the guy who wrote Think and Go Rich, thanking Charles Hanel for his master key system because that's what inspired his foundation and his book and his program. So that was written over 100 years ago,
That's so
and it's still
beautiful.
inspiring people today. And it inspired a gentleman like the guy who wrote Think and Grow Rich. And so look how many people his ripple effect was a much bigger puddle. So you just never know when you
Never
share your
know.
story in whatever format you share it, how long that inspirational legacy just might last.
Absolutely.
So if you like Think and Grow Rich, check out Tapping the Source.
I will. I
It is
will
a
take
more
it down.
modern version of the original Master Key System written by Charles Hornell, redone by three amazing dedicated authors that
Beautiful.
were inspired by him as well. So I love that you shared that. Okay, let's talk about your books.
Well, one of my books is called Public Speakers You're Not All That 12 Reasons Why Event Planners Won't Hire You. I
Mm.
interviewed I interviewed over 3,400 event planners that actually pay speakers for this book. It took me 4.5 years out of my own time and my own dime because I wanted to really hear it from the source. I
Yeah.
wanted to hear it from the people that actually pay speakers, and that was the most enlightening and an epiphany of knowledge. 4.5 years of it. I'm pretty proud of that one.
Well, and that will give you really the best insight ever of how to set yourself up to be the ideal speaker that these people want to pay and hire.
Hmm.
So I absolutely love that. And anything else you want to share before we get to our final thought?
No, I'm very excited to be here. First of all,
I'm
it's my
glad you're
first one with you, so I'm really excited about that. I feel so sheepish.
and I don't think so.
Right? I mean, it's like, yeah, yeah. I'm an introvert. People don't know that about me. I am an
Oh,
introvert. I am
really?
really an introvert. So it's kind of funny because I told that to my girlfriend, and then I brought her to another place where I was speaking, and she stayed for the whole event. And then we were driving home, and I was exhausted because I had just done a whole hour keynote. And she said, after I said I was tired, she said, "Oh my God, you really are an introvert." She couldn't see that I was. And, yeah, I am.
It's funny. I think I was born naturally an extrovert as a bloom, and then I was held in a situation in a time period where I was very repressed from who I really was, and then I bloomed again into the joyful me that I am. So,
Adorable.
yeah, well, I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so grateful to have you on the show today.
Thank you. I'm grateful.
And if you're out there thinking, wait, I can improve someone's personal life and help them have a better life. I've written books and programs. I have great things to share with the world. Well, reach out to us and our team, and we'll see just how to get you featured on our show. But before we close out tonight, we're going to ask Orly to share a piece of information or inspiration as we go today.
Um, don't let anyone tell you what you can and cannot do.
Mm,
Don't listen to the naysayers. They are speaking from their perspective. They're speaking from their belief system of what they can and cannot do.
mm,
It doesn't mean you can't. And, I have challenged that multiple times, and I have pressed that barrier of saying, "Oh, you really think that? Let me show you." Like, don't even dare me, right? Because but think of it as a dare. Think of it as something that is so special that everybody needs to know you. And I believe that everybody not only needs to know you, but every time they do meet you, that they feel like they've had the honor to know you.
mm.
And that's how I feel about Jessica.
Oh, it's my honor to know you too. I love that. That's it, people. That's a wrap. I'm your host, Jessica Koch. This has been another Profound Professionals. And until the next one, be kind to yourself out there and be kind to each other. Bye, everybody.
God bless.